I'm. My house is haunted, Ollie. You gotta help me. I've heard you're good at these sorts of things. All right, Mrs. Wesley. Yeah, sure. I can come and help. Don't even worry about it. Thank you. Thank you. Can you come today? I said, yeah, no, I can come today. Let's see. It's 1 o'clock now. I can be there by 3. Does that work for you? That would be fine. Thank you. I had gotten this call from this older lady, and she was really worried because, well, she was convinced that her house was haunted. She was kind of confused and upset on the phone, so I couldn't get a whole lot of details. But he figured if he went there, he's good at calming people down. He could figure it out. 9 times out of 10, it's minor things. Rarely is it actually a ghost. But Ollie has tangled with ghosts and things too, so he brought his whole kit just in case. He headed over there. It was a house kind of in northwest Baltimore, kind of a quiet neighborhood of medium-sized houses. It was a nice-looking house. It was a classic kind of split-level, mid-century modern kind of a thing. I knocked on the door, and the lady answered. Miss Wesley answered. Oh, thank you for coming. I know it's a long way out for you. I said, that's okay. I mean, I just rented a car. I mean, it's all built into the rates. Yes, and those rates are just fine. But this house is freaking me out. So when did this all start? Well, I said. It started, I guess, about 2 weeks ago. My grandson was visiting for a whole week, which was lovely. Um, he was in town. There was a conference that he was going to at the university. And so he stayed with me because it's not too far. He lives in Seattle normally. He's a tech person of some sort. I said, okay, cool, cool. And so after he left, toward the second half of the week, I already started to notice it, but it's gotten worse since he left. I said, okay, so tell me what's happening. He said, well, the house just started doing things on its own. I said, really? What do you mean? Well, like there's several rooms that I'll walk in and the lights will just turn on. And that's without me turning on the light switch. In fact, some of the rooms I haven't touched a light switch in, a week and a half. Except, I mean, the first couple times it freaked me out, so I turned it off, but I turned it back on and just sort of letting it be. And let's see, what else? Oh, the thermostat moves on its own. It'll like you can see it from the door, and as I'm leaving, it turns down. I normally keep the house at like 73, and it'll turn down to like 68. And then when I'm coming back into the house, I can see it flip back. Like the house is cooling itself off when I'm not around. I don't. It's that one right over there. You can see it by the door. I looked, and there was a fairly new-looking thermostat there by the doors and the light switches. And let's see, what else is there? Well, I mean, one thing that it does is on its own is nice, and I know about it because my grandson brought one of those smart speakers in. And so I can just sort of say, hey, speaker, play Frank Sinatra or Skrillex or whatever it is that I want to listen to, and it'll start playing. But I understand about that. It's just a little computer that responds to your voice. I get that. I said, okay, I think I have an idea, but what else have you noticed? Oh, let's see here. Um, my lock was sticking, and so I had my grandson change the lock, and that I've noticed. I don't usually lock. I'm not in the habit of locking when I'm home, but the lock will close itself. Um, about 5 minutes after I come in, I can hear the lock go ka-chunk. That's the one that freaks me out the most, I'd say. Those are the main things. I feel like there were some other ones I I can't remember now, but it's all very strange. I don't get it. I said, all right, let me walk around for a few minutes and see if I can see what might be going on. So Ollie started to look around. He looked at the thermostat, and it was a pretty new thermostat, one that could probably be programmed. He looked at the doorknob, the deadbolt, really, and it looked pretty new, and it had a battery pack. He said, when your grandson changed the deadbolt, he added one with a combination? Yes, he did. Actually, I like that a lot. It's really handy. Then I don't have to carry my keys. Uh, I just use my combination, which I keep secret. I have no problem remembering it. That part's nice. I said, okay. And looked around, because what he was looking for, he sit still. He was looking for some, motion sensors or heat sensors and stuff, because all I was suspecting that the only thing happening here was that our grandson had put in a bunch of smart home stuff when he was around, and either forgot to tell her, or he told her and she didn't quite get what he meant, and she just remembered the bit about the speaker. Ollie doesn't have any real smart home stuff at his house, but he's heard about it and he's seen them. Stop, please. But he didn't find the motion sensors, is the thing. But sometimes they're really subtle. Ollie went back and asked her, so did your grandson, you mentioned that he set up a smart speaker and he put in the new lock. Did he change anything else? I said, well, I mean, he's kind of he may have, I guess. He didn't, not that I remember, but he's a very clever young man. He has one of those cars that can drive itself some of the times, and I mean, he didn't bring that here. He was just in a rental when he was here, but oh, I don't know. He didn't mention anything else to me, not that I remember though. I said, all right. What else? Did anything unusual happen when he was here? Oh, well, let's see. Not when he was here, but I noticed in the room that he was staying in when he left. Shh. He left behind this weird little. Here, I'll show you. Now I followed her to the guest bedroom. There were two guest bedrooms actually, but one of them was her office. And there was this weird little statue on the nightstand. He may have meant it to be a gift. I'm not sure, but isn't it kind of weird? I looked and it was pretty in its own way. It was a brass figure of some sort, mostly a person, but it had lapis lazuli eyes and hands and feet and belly. It wasn't a figure that Ollie recognized from any, mythologies that he knows a lot about, but, there's plenty that he doesn't know. He took a picture of his phone to try and research it later, or maybe send to his librarian friend. But then there was a whistle. And she said, oh, hold on a second. That's my tea. Do you want some tea, Ollie? Oh, or coffee? I have a French press. I said, a cup of coffee would be great. Thank you. How do you take it? Oh, just black is fine. Appreciate it. So I sat there staring at the figurine. And that's when it seemed to sort of emanate some kind of smoke. No, I thought that was pretty strange, so we kept watching. You could hear the rustling in the kitchen down the hall. And a little shh. What? And a little face appeared in the smoke above the figurine. It said, who are you? You're not family. I said, I'm not family. I'm working for Miss Wesley. Who are you? I am a servant of Tom Wesley. I have been left behind. Ollie said, I don't understand. I. Oh, what's the best way to explain this? I'm sorry, I spend a lot of time in the figurine. I'm a genie? No, not quite. I don't grant wishes. I'm like a family spirit. I don't know. Tom bought me at a yard sale. Didn't realize that I was. Well, he bought the figurine at a yard sale. Didn't realize that I was living in the figurine as a spirit. So you're a ghost? Not a ghost. Not a ghost. Kind. I mean, like I said, some people have called me a genie in the past. I've been around for a long time. I don't know where I came from. One of my previous owners called me a demon. Anyway, point is, you buy the figurine, or you get given the figurine, and I become your servant. Oh, I said, okay, so you're not a human ghost. No, never been human, not that I know of anyway. Gosh, I guess maybe I do. I don't think so. I don't know. I remember one day, about 600 years ago, I woke up like this. And you can leave the figurine? I can, sort of. I can't go very far. So what do you do? I try to help. I don't know. I'm not like a mean, evil spirit. I'm not like a. That's why I didn't like it when the previous guy called me a demon. Like, I feel like demons are mean, and I'm not mean. So, I don't know. I'm just trying to help this lady. So, you're the one turning on the lights and adjusting the thermostat and making sure the door stays locked. I changed her fridge filter. I'm thinking about maybe seeing if I can clean the bathroom, but that might be a bridge too far. I don't want to freak her out. And she doesn't know you're here. No, she doesn't know you're here. I mean, she knows the figurine's here. But, I mean, Tom was cool with it. But I feel like it'd freak her out that there's a ghost. No, not a ghost. Well, whatever I am. Call me a genie. So, did Tom mean to give you to his grandma? No, he forgot. He forgot. He brought me along because I help him. But, I guess he forgot me here. Didn't mention it to me anyway. Oh, here she comes. And he went, and the figure of the face went back into the figurine. Oh, here you go. It's an interesting little figurine, isn't it? I may like it, but I don't know. I found it kind of on the nightstand. It was underneath a book and getting kind of knocked over, I guess. So I put it there. I think it's a nice spot for it. I said, so does Tom mention anything to it? Tom's your grandson, right? Yeah. Did I mention his name? I don't think I. Anyway, yes, Tom's my grandson. He hasn't mentioned it, but he only left a few days ago. So I guess we could give him a call. So would you mind if I called him and talk to him privately for a second? It's kind of a private investigator's hunch. Oh, sure. Well, here's his number, and I will excuse you. I don't want to question your methods. I know you're good at what you do. Thank you. So she left and closed the door, and Ollie sipped on his coffee and called the number. A young man sounding voice picked up. Said, hello, hey, this is Tom. Hey, Tom, my name is Ollie the Octopus. I'm a private investigator, ghost deal with her here in Baltimore, and your grandma called me because she thought your house was haunted. House was haunted? Oh, shoot. Did I leave Bill behind? Oh, I haven't unpacked my bag all the way. Bill? Yeah, I mean, that's just what I call him. It's a ghost that lives in a little figurine. I wouldn't normally just go straight into that for you, but I've seen your files, and I know you deal with ghosts and stuff. Yeah, I have a haunted figurine, and it helps me. And shoot, oh, it's It's right there, isn't it? In the room with you now? I said, yeah. Yeah, it was wondering. I mean, I talked to it. Oh, you talked to it. It didn't talk to my grandma, did it? Oh, man, that would freak her out so much. I said, no, Bill figured that it would make your grandma, scared. So it's been keeping to itself, except it's been turning on lights for her and adjusting her thermostat and making small repairs around the house. That sounds like Bill. That sounds like he's a really helpful little, whatever he is, sprite. Genie? Djinn? I don't know. Did he tell you what he is? He said he's not sure. Right. Tell you what. Could you mail Bill to me? I'll pay for postage and everything. And that should resolve my grandma's stuff. What are we going to tell her? I don't know. You mail the figurine to me, and I will figure out what to tell. Shh. What to tell my Nana so that she doesn't get freaked out. Shh. Okay. Yeah. Do you want to text me your address, and I can send it out this afternoon? Cool. Thanks, man. Hey, I really appreciate your help. My grandma's a great lady. But yeah, I don't know if she'd be cool with having a figurine spirit or in his house. Man, this is like the weirdest purchase I ever made, but I'll be glad to have Bill back. Shh. Quiet. So Ollie hung up, and he went to open the door, and standing right on the other side of the door was Miss Wesley. She said, "So, my house is haunted, huh? But by a helpful spirit." I said, "Oh, you were listening in the door." I said, "Of course. I don't like things happening in my house that I don't know about. And I figured, well, sorry, but you're working for me, so." No, I said, "I don't mind. Both the spirit and your grandson were worried you'd be freaked out, but sounds like you're not bothered at all. Look, I'm 67 years old. I've seen things that neither you nor my dear grandson could possibly imagine. I'm not freaked out by, is it Bill?" And a little wispy face appeared above the doll. Yes, Bill works. Hi. Sorry to hide. I feel embarrassed. Don't be embarrassed, Bill. Thank you for your help, but we will be sending you back to my grandson. I'm sure he misses you, and I like living alone. No offense. None taken, ma'am. None taken. Well, Ollie, I want to thank you for your services, and I see you haven't finished your cup of coffee. Maybe you and me, Bill, could chat and catch up. After all, Bill's been a guest in my home for a week and a half now, and it feels weird I don't even know anything about him. So, Ollie, Miss Wesley, and Bill sat in the room drinking their tea and coffee and talked all about Bill's strange life as a figurine, genie, spirit, ghost thing. And that was the case of Ollie and the automated home.